Great. I think,
Welcome,
yeah, sorry.
well,
I think
welcome
Julie was going to
everyone to
share something as well. I'm sorry, Rick.
I'm sorry?
Julie was going to share some slides as well.
Yes, we'll be able to do that. This won't take very long at all, Kiki. Just wanted to welcome everyone to our monthly District 6710 International Service Committee meeting. Uh, Today is the 13th of November via Zoom. And remember our Rotary International vision statement. Together, we see a world where people unite. Come on. Go back. I'm really messing up here.
You're fine.
Yeah, where people unite across the globe and take action to create lasting change across the globe in our communities and in ourselves. And our speakers today are Kiki Melonides, the Senior Specialist with International Service at Rotary International, and Julie Aubrey, the product owner, the person who knows more about the Service Project Center than anybody else at RI. So it's really great to have you two here with us. And we've got a good representation of folks. Now, Cindy Hack has joined us and Yvette Schubert, who is actually from Indianapolis. And we're very glad to have her with us as well. So before we get started talking about the Service Project Center, let me just ask, did anyone have any objections or suggestions or criticisms of the minutes that were sent out last month, minutes of our October meeting? Hearing none, we will assume the meeting minutes are accepted and move ahead to our today's program. Julie, if you're ready, go ahead, please, ma'am. I can see your screen.
And actually, Kiki's going to start us off and then she'll pass it to me. Yeah.
Yes. Thanks, Rick.
Great.
Thanks, Julie. We're really delighted to be here with you. Julie and I are really looking forward to sharing the new and improved information about the Rotary Service Project Center. But before we jump into this new and exciting tool, I just wanted to take a minute and just reacquaint you with my role. As you know, I'm the International Service Senior Specialist, and I directly support International Service Committee chairs and committees, such as yourselves, and just wanted to make sure that you're aware of that. So if you had any questions about wanting to get more engaged with Friendship Exchange or action groups or engaging your clubs, reach out to me. I also wanted to give you just kind of a little sneak preview of some programming that we're planning for Calgary at the convention. We're making preliminary plans to hold an international service workshop on Saturday, the 21st of June. It'll be an all-day workshop for International Service Committee chairs. And if there's some club level committee members who wanted to attend, that would be something that we would also hopefully have room to accommodate. So I send out quarterly messages to those who are reported as international service chairs in our system. So I hope you've been getting those. And if you haven't, reached out to me because I include some really exciting updates and some great strategies and best practices. And the last one went out in September. Our next quarterly update's going out in December, and I'll have an interest survey there, trying to gauge who might be interested in attending the workshop. So that's kind of some announcements that I wanted to make, and I'm not going to take a lot of time. I'm going to introduce Julie, who's going to talk to you about the Service Project Center, new and improved, which launched on the 1st of August. So Julie, the floor is yours.
All right. Thank you for having us today. This is really exciting. I'm so excited to share this with you all. So if you were familiar with Rotary Showcase, which was developed about 12 years ago, there's a lot of similarities with Service Project Center, but a lot more improvements, and it's on newer technology. So if you visit Service Project Center, you'll notice there'll be enhanced performance and speed. It's now mobile friendly. So as soon as you're done performing your service project, if you wanted to upload the photos and add some of the project details right there on site, you could with ease. We've also improved project location information and have now added a map in which you can see projects as pins on a map. And then there's better social media sharing now, and we've empowered more club officers to manage projects. In the past, it was just the project contacts and the club president which could manage projects. Now it's the project contacts and all current club officers. And we've added a new Rotary campaigns page, which is their special initiatives. Sometimes they come from the president, sometimes they come from our areas of focus staff, and they're special initiatives that might focus on one direct thing. Like, for example, with President Gordon, he had prioritizing mental health. So folks can focus on service projects and attach it to that campaign. So you can see all the projects revolving that campaign. And let's take a step back because there's a lot of information about Showcase people might not be aware of that also transferred over to Service Project Center. So really, it's the place where you can report your service project achievements. So if clubs have set the service project goal in Rotary Club Central, they will now come to Service Project Center to add those service projects to earn the achievements that might go towards the Club Excellence Award. Also, this is not just a tool available just for members. This is open to the public. We really don't want to gatekeep Rotary service. We want to make sure that prospective members, prospective donors, prospective partners can all access the wonderful service that Rotary provides. And so it's open to anyone. You can share it with anyone. Also, it's though current club officers can manage all the projects, any club member, any active club member can add a service project. So if a club has a full service committee, it doesn't just have to be the service project chair that adds the projects. They could even delegate that out to members of their committee to make sure that all that information is up to date. It's also a place not just to add service projects, but to find partners for grants, for project proposals. So if you're looking for a global grant partner, this is a place where you can promote the proposal that you're seeking. Or if you're seeking to partner with an existing proposal, you can also search Service Project Center for that. And even when it was still Showcase and it was on older technology, the adoption of this site has always been very popular. As you can see, last Rotary year, we had more than 120,000 projects added, and we expect that to continue to grow. The more features and the more incentive we give members to engage with this site. So now I'm actually going to do a live demo. 1 second while I switch over. Okay, so once we get logged into your My Rotary account, there's a few different ways you can get to Service Project Center. You can scroll down here once you've logged in on the member page, or you can go to Participate, and you can see here under Projects. You can also go to Knowledge and Resources, and again, you can see here. So we'll go ahead and move over. And this is the landing page. So you can see up here, there's new information about it. That's also where you can find an FAQ to download. We've got our most popular button, which is adding a new project, but we just have some general information about what the site is, a mini search option here, some basic information about the campaigns, and then also you can search projects by cause. But you can also do it from, say we were going to move over and just browse projects, see what that looks like. This, by default, shows projects that have photos and that were the most recently created online. I can use all these filters to filter down to the type of projects that might interest me. For example, when I was actually testing out Service Project Center, I wanted to know more about vocational projects. So I went to category and I clicked on vocational and I clicked enter, and it would produce results here. And it's sifting through tens of thousands of projects when it does this. So sometimes it can take just a beat to do it. And while we're waiting for that, I'm going to hop over here. We can also look at projects on map view. So you can look anywhere in the world at the most recent projects that have been added. And again, I can update my search by going over to list view and performing it there. Also, I'm going to take a look of like when we click on one of these projects, this is what it ends up looking like. So here's an example of a great project that was added. Information, it's a completed project, it's intermediate level, has basic information about what they've done. And as you can see, the more details that members add, the more rich the story is told about the service project. So we really encourage folks to add as much relevant information as possible. We can see where it appears on a map, what partners took place. If I wanted to contact them to know about more about this project, I could. And I can read more about sustainability and the project impact as well. There's also the Rotary campaigns page that I told you about before. This is going to continue to grow, which is very exciting. If I wanted to know about past campaigns, say, maybe there's some disease data that might be helpful and I wanted to know about past COVID-19 projects, I could look at the projects that way. Click on that, takes me to the search, and it will search all of the campaigns that were attached to that, or to all the projects that were attached to that campaign.
So you enter your project after it's completed or in
You can
progress?
You can do it in progress too. And yeah, I was to say, you can do it in progress. You can do it completed. I usually recommend in progress so that you can keep adding information to it. And it might be easier to do that during a long project rather than waiting until the end. And then if you've added a project proposal and then it becomes an actual project, you can switch it over to it being a project in process or completed too.
Okay, thank
And
you.
then when you go to add, I'm going to show you this first. Oops. If I wanted to see just my own club's projects, you go to My Club Projects, and I can look through here. I've got some filters. I can also look at it in the map. A new feature that's about to come out in the next couple of weeks will actually be another filter where I can see just the projects where I am the contact for it, so that if I can go in and edit them, manage them, that kind of thing. Whereas like this project was added by somebody else in the club and not me, and I'm not a current club officer, so I don't have the access to do any editing or updating here. And then when I want to go ahead and add a new project, it asks me to confirm here just to check to see if this project may have already been added by another member. So it'll direct me back to that same page we were just on just to take a quick look. But if I've confirmed and I'm good to move forward, here I can decide if this is a project proposal or if this is an actual in progress or completed project. And then I can start to add the information here. And this is all continuing to evolve. We keep adding more features to make the experience rich. And I will move us back to, let's see, one second. I will move us back to the PowerPoint, but for some reason it's not taking me there. One second, I'm so sorry.
So this doesn't take like the description from your global grant application and just paste it in here.
Correct, correct. It doesn't do that, but we are looking in the future to have integration eventually between grants that are in the grant center and some of that information being able to be shared in Service Project Center, or like proposal, that kind of thing. So we're looking at that, but that'll be in the future still.
Okay.
And I
Julie,
am
you can show us grant or projects from your local club. Could you also show us projects from the district, such
Yeah.
as District 6710? It would be very interesting to know
Yeah.
what's already there.
So yeah, Most recently added, we've got a monthly meal program, Rotary Park maintenance, assistance with the food pantry. Yeah, we got some great stuff here.
More than I thought were likely to be on there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, for the completed projects, is there an archive date at which they might be removed or be
No.
considered as history?
No, as I say, they might not pop up to the top all that quickly, but it all depends on the search criteria, right? But we're not necessarily looking to get rid of projects. We're just looking at how we organize the information. So yeah, it's not like one day they won't be on here at all. Yeah, even if I wanted to, there's some I could look back a few years too. Oh, we don't have any for that year, so
For my district, for that
for
district.
your
Yeah.
district, yeah, exactly. And if I just want to reset everything and go back, yeah. And actually, let me remove the photos too, and I'll do a search of your district again. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. We've got a couple more that just don't have photos. Yeah.
You know, is the main advantage to a club of posting its local projects?
Yes. Yeah, I was to say, it's a great way because you again you can be sharing this not just with other Rotary clubs, but you can be sharing it on your social media pages to help get people if you've got a proposal and you want folks, whether they're Rotary related or not, to get involved. This is a great way to promote it. Um, and then on top of it, you're also part of the Rotary network. So if they're looking for something specific, this is a great opportunity. You know, they've got the Rotary experience, and then in the future, we'll actually have a portfolio so that it can show maybe what kinds of projects or grants that your club has participated in. So if you're trying to match up with a global grant partner, it's almost like a resume of what they've participated in or what their expertise might be. So just making it easier and easier to connect with folks to get service done. Yeah. And I'm still trying, for some reason, it is not letting me stop sharing this for some reason. I'm so sorry. Would you be able to take the screen back and then I can share the last slide of the presentation?
It should be able to.
Stop sharing.
There's a stop sharing option somewhere. What it is, I am not seeing that sharing options.
So like our district does 60 district grant projects like every year. Man, we could fill this thing up with all kinds of,
You really, really could.
wow. I mean, we did probably 60 projects that were disaster related.
Yeah, and that's one of the categories that you can organize this through.
Right.
Now let me see.
Yeah, I think I have taken you off sharing.
You have, thank you. And I will now, let's see. 1 second. Okay. All right, now I can share the last slide. Sorry, I'm having some tech issues right now. There we go. Okay.
Back to the.
There we go. Okay. So some best practices to keep you using SPC in the best way it can be used. We really want to. Sometimes we see some non-service projects get snuck in there, like birthday parties or attending the district conference, when that's really not service that's providing service to the community, whether it's like locally or globally. So
I'm
we
sorry,
always.
Julie, can you share again?
Oh, sure. Let's see.
There we
That's better.
go.
You're seeing it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. So yeah, sharing only service projects. But really, this is an opportunity to really share your club's stories of service. Like this is, I know some people might go in there just to like write a brief outline, right? Add the title, add some basic mandatory information, and maybe they'll come back later to update, which we definitely encourage them to do. But some folks are really just looking to like check it off their list. But it's a missed opportunity to really tell a full story of the hard work and dedication members put into service every day. So this is a great opportunity to tell that story. And along with that, if you've got photos, if you've got great photos, include them. That can be so powerful. And again, just another way to really capture the interest of folks who might be wanting to partner on a project or might be wanting to possibly join the club or donate to the project. Um, Also, because we've only recently updated locational information, like in the past, a long time ago, all they had collected for location was country. And then it got upgraded to country and city. And when we launched Service Project Center in August, we had added Google Maps as part of this so we could add more precise location. So if you want your project to appear on that map, we encourage folks to go in, edit their project to update their project location. And if you're worried about, maybe the privacy of members or beneficiaries involved in that service project, you don't have to give necessarily the exact location. You could give the village if you wanted. You could give, the nearest nearby location, or you can wait to add it until after that project is done too. Just a matter of privacy for members and beneficiaries if they would like. And yeah, as I said before, if if your club has set a goal in Rotary Club Central pertaining to service projects, um, going in and adding the projects so that the achievements are then read and counted in Rotary Club Central. And one thing to note too, if you've got a project that maybe started, let's say it started in June 2024 and it ended in September 2024. We base it on the end date, so that project would count towards this current Rotary year's achievements. And then one thing too, especially because so many of your district leaders, this is something in case your district has a service-wide kind of district initiative. Like for example, if your service encourages all clubs to participate in Earth Day and you wanted to track what Earth Day projects clubs were creating, you could create your own specific tag and then ask members when they're adding their service projects to add that tag. There's a tags section, almost works like a hashtag. So say it was Earth Day and you wanted it to be D6710 Earth Day 24 or 25, that kind of thing. Then you could perform a search based off of that and see all of the projects using that tag. And if you wanted to, you could even link that search of that tag onto your district website so that when they clicked on it, it would perform the search attached to that tag. And then anybody opening that link could see all of the projects for Earth Day for your district in 2025. So
Can that go beyond one district?
you can't do multiple districts at a time. You could do a zone or, that kind of thing. But if it was, or if you wanted to, if you wanted to create a unique tag, say it's like, D6710 and then 6720. I don't know if that's a real district number. You could do something like that, but you couldn't, like if you wanted to do a district search, you could only perform one district search at a time. But you could use the same tag for multiple districts if there was a multi-district initiative, if that makes
There
sense.
is an initiative that I've just recently learned about that not all of our clubs yet are aware of. It's coming out of Florence and Covington, Kentucky, in District 6740.
That's
The
great.
Rotary Club of Pittsburgh, of Cincinnati, Louisville participated last year in a Ohio River sweep. to try and help bring attention to the need for people to pay attention to the water quality in the Ohio River. And I know Louisville Suburban is interested in that. Mike King is here with us at this meeting. There are a lot
That's
of
great.
different clubs that could be involved and communicating together about it.
Yeah, yeah. And you just want to make sure it would be like a really unique kind of tag so that if someone else is maybe tagging Earth Day, it doesn't get kind of lumped into the same category or the same search. But yeah, that would absolutely work if you wanted to create a unique tag for one district or multiple districts to participate in an initiative like that.
We will talk about that because I know the Cincinnati group is planning on a Zoom meeting of clubs up and down the river in
That's
early
great.
December to see if we can get things coordinated.
Wonderful. But yeah, that's basically short and sweet, as short as I could go. I'm sorry if I'm a little over. But there's a lot to explore. Don't be afraid to get in there and take a look around and play with the new different features. And we're going to continue to release new features over time. I'll continue to update the FAQ so that no one feels lost with some of the newer things coming to Service Project Center. But yeah, I want to pass it back to you all and Kiki if there's any questions. I don't know. I haven't been monitoring the chat to see if anything came in, but yeah.
No, nothing is in
Haven't
chat.
seen any.
Would you mind showing us the FAQ as it currently
Sure.
stands?
Sure. Let's see here. I will switch back to this. All right. So if we go to this banner up here to the Learn More page, there's some basic information here, but then you can see frequently asked questions over here, and then also down here. And then it'll download and I will reshare. Oh, can you see that?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can.
Okay, good. So yeah, here's the frequently asked questions, shows you again where you can find Service Project Center, goes over who can add projects, who can manage them. Right now, currently, there's no way to save a draft of a project, which is why sometimes people just go through and add the mandatory information and publish it because they'll come back later. But it is something that we're working towards in the future. We're having to build a database in order to make that happen. But yeah, great information in here. Tried to add photos where it was appropriate. And of course, if you ever have any questions, you can reach out to me. I'm happy to help. Or also Kiki, she can really focus more on service-based questions, but if it's specifically SPC, I'm happy to help.
Okay. And
Yeah.
if my club has a specific project that it wants to communicate to other folks in the city outside of Rotary, is there a URL that we could give them that would take them directly to that project?
Yes. So sorry, I'm trying to find you again. This is like, I'm having some tech issues today. I'm so sorry. Let's see. There you guys are. Okay. So, basically what you could do, let me show you. So, is this one of the, no. There we go. Here's an example of a project. So, and it doesn't even have to be one of your own projects. Anybody can share one of the existing projects on here. So you can click on share project and you can either copy the link or you can go ahead and choose to share it on Facebook, on LinkedIn, X or Twitter, and then WhatsApp. So if I were to copy this link and I'm going to send it to you all in the chat, you'll see what it looks like when you click on it. And once you open it, there you go. Same thing works with the project proposal as well.
So
So you
we
could
can
send that
select.
to,
Go ahead, Ralph.
you could send that to a WhatsApp group
Uh-huh.
and it, oh my goodness. That's huge.
Oh, good.
I mean, you know, most international type mission projects and stuff, WhatsApp is the go-to thing, you know?
Yeah.
And
It truly is.
I've heard from many club members that this is one of the most exciting features for them to be able
Oh,
to link to their project and to share that in different channels. So we're really excited about that.
good, good. We want this information to be easy to access. If anything, we're not trying to prevent information around service. We're trying to encourage folks sharing more through this platform. And we've got some really cool big plans set up for over the next few years. So it's only going to continue to get easier and more exciting to use. And I'm a member too, so I'm also just as stoked about what's coming. So.
Well, that's good. You're more than just a hired contractor gun,
Yeah,
you know.
I'm a past charter president, so I've,
All right.
Okay.
oof, it's heavy lift. Yeah. All right. Let's
That
see.
is impressive. And any other questions for Julie or for Kiki?
Our challenge, Rick,
Awesome.
is to get more projects in here.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of what I really was hoping to do today, to let more local project leaders, not just members of the International Service Committee, know that there is something here for them,
Mm-hmm.
that they
Yes.
can really get more publicity for their project, get more awareness, maybe attract new members, and get credit as well for their completion of their goals. That's something that's
Exactly.
important for many clubs, and it will probably encourage more clubs to put service projects into their club goals.
Yeah.
I would be interested to know if very many clubs have done that already.
Yeah, that's a good point. As I say, we haven't been up for a full year yet, but I think we're really excited for the beginning of next Rotary year to be able to look at that data to see if this has helped encourage folks to set more goals and add more projects.
Yeah,
What do
one
you
of the goals might be, you know, if you nominate a project for a district conference award, one of the requirements might be, oh, have you put it in the service project center?
Mhm.
There's another question that I've been curious about. There is a district-driven site called matchinggrants.org that,
Mhm.
at least for global grants, tries to do much the same kind of thing. It's a lot simpler and older technology. But I mean, are you all aware of that, and do you have any
We
thoughts on it?
are. We're aware of it, and essentially the plans that we're developing as we further integrate slowly with the grant center or being able to connect more of our grants, because really grants are service most of the time. It's just the funding mechanism, right?
Right.
Unless it's like a scholarship, and then that's a different situation. But um, we want to create less barrier between talking about service and grants. And so we will be moving towards not necessarily some of the features of matchinggrants.com, but essentially like or matchinggrants.org, I think. But we're I think they've really tried to make it easy for folks to find partners, but I don't think that people were aware that they could already do that in Showcase. And so the more that we work closely with Grant Center, they won't just be able to propose projects or grants in SBC. There will be a deeper connection between SBC and it turning into a grant on the same platform. So we'll be working towards some of that dynamic happening. Again, and we're still building it out, but it is coming. Yeah.
Right now, if I put a grant that is seeking additional partners on this website, and another club anywhere decides, hey, they'd like to take part in it, they would
Mhm.
need to connect with the contact person, or what would they need to do in order to reach out and say, hey, I might be able to help?
Yeah, so that's how it would start is the contact person. So for example, on every project or proposal that's added here, it shows what partners are involved, but then it
Right.
also shows who are the project contacts. So
Perfect.
I can go ahead and draft out a message here, and it'll shoot them an email, you know, letting them know like the email will come to them saying, this message is from the Rotary Service Project Center, and they'll be able to start communicating that way.
This is great.
Okay.
Yay.
I mean, Rick, between you and me, that other application was pretty clunky.
I understand. You in the,
This is way
the
better.
yeah, the matchinggrants.org or the showcase.
Both.
No, the old one.
Question
old
mark.
one. I mean, I struck out on that so many times, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, anyone else have any comments, reactions? What do you think? Would you be likely to encourage your club to post something here? Floor is open.
I mean, we have a water project that's kind of in the whatever preliminary planning stages in Nigeria. And I mean, this is a perfect way to just kind of start leaking that out there to see if there's any interest from other clubs or whatever.
And I want to talk with you in it separately, maybe later on today, about getting Paducah and maybe Metropolis, Illinois into the looking at and thinking about this Ohio River Sweep project
Oh, yeah,
up and down the
right.
river.
That's
And
right.
Frankfurt could certainly join.
Yep.
All the tributaries of the Ohio, which
Yep.
covers almost all of our clubs, should be involved in that.
Yeah.
Totally
You got
agree.
Dorsey there and Henderson.
Yes.
I think it would be a good idea also to put this in a newsletter.
Yeah, Spectrum.
I think that's a
You
great
got a
idea.
canned spiel, Julie, for like a newsletter article?
I can come up with one. Yeah. Just
Like
depends
a
on how.
one-page thing with lots of links and whatever. That'd be great.
Sure, sure. I can absolutely help with that.
Super. Okay. Well, thanks to everyone for your participation, and I detect a certain level of excitement, and I think that's great. I think hope you will take these ideas back to your club again. In a couple of weeks, with Lee's help, we will get this up on YouTube so that everyone can have a chance to look at it and see it in action and learn more from Julie and from Kiki. So thanks so much to you both. I think this is an exciting opportunity for clubs in our district and for the benefit of Yvette, for districts elsewhere as well.
Thank
We're glad to
you.
have you.
Thank
By the
you.
way, Yvette, Carmel, Indiana, being on the White River, which is a tributary of the Wabash, which pours into the Ohio, you guys would be interested too, conceivably, in this Ohio River effort.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Rick,
Yes.
yeah, just one thing before we go, or I'm assuming we're going, but I want to thank our guest speakers today. It was really an excellent program. Well, I wanted to remind everybody, first off, thank you for co-sponsoring the United Nations Day program that was held back in October at the Zoom program. And also several groups, Rotary groups, are going to be co-sponsoring the upcoming Human Rights Day program. It'll be around December the 5th. So I'd like just to remind everybody there will be a notice coming out about the Zoom meeting. I think it's December the 5th or 6th. I can't remember exactly, but I'll get something to you or get it into the Spectrum. But thanks so much for your co-sponsorship. Really appreciate it.
And we've already had information about the UNA USA program on chemicals in our drinking water, on the PFAS
Oh,
issue. And I have
Great.
let I have let our organizers in Cincinnati know that it's not just junk and trash along the Ohio that we need to be thinking of. We need to be
Yes.
thinking of native plants, trees to help stabilize the riverbanks, and dealing with the stuff that folks upriver have been putting into our river.
Exactly. Amen.
Okay, very good. I wanted to mention before we leave today that there are travel opportunities available coming up. Certainly the annual trip to Mexico with the Heart to Heart program is, I think, not completely oversubscribed. There's still opportunities to get into that, and I can send you information about that contact. I know that there is a very good project fair coming up at the end of January in Medellin, Colombia. My wife and I are planning to go to that, and a lot of good projects being put together in Colombia by the local clubs that have already learned a lot about doing this. This will be their 10th year for doing the project fair. The Central American Project Fair is moved this year to May. It'll be in late May. So if before you have a chance to head off to Calgary, going down to Panama City could be an attractive opportunity and things to think about. Has anyone
That's
else
not
got
Panama
any-
City, Florida, is it?
No, Panama City, Panama. Has anybody else got ideas for projects that you want to work on that you may think you might want to share some thoughts on? All silence. Everybody's on mute. Okay, so be it. Feel free to think of something to share at our December meeting, which will be, I think I wrote down the 13th, but it'll actually be the 15th, I think. He is.
I mean,
Again,
with
thanks
Fred
for-
on here, is there anything new happening with Ukraine?
Well, it's a good question, and I have been in communication with the woman in Oregon who has helped put together these past mobile clinics. As you recall, we're have a project to fund a mobile clinic, and something weird happened. I don't quite understand it, but she notified me that it's all on hold right now because I think the district in Ukraine is doing an audit of the project. And it is not the Rotary Foundation itself that's doing the audit, it's the Ukrainian district. Now, I have no idea what that means. We've funded or a couple of these mobile clinics have been funded. Obviously, they're desperately needed. For those of you who don't recall, these are basically RVs that are outfitted to be a clinic that can travel anywhere in the country, and they're kind of deployed under the auspices of the Health and Human Services Department for the country to go to areas that have been ravaged by the war. But that's the last I heard from her. It's been about a month now, maybe. So I'll check back in with her periodically, but in the meantime, everything's just on hold. That's all I know.
Okay, thanks, Fred.
Important to know, since our DDF budgeting committee is going to be meeting next Monday to think a little bit about what we've got going on and how we're going to be able to use some of the DDF that we accumulated back before our district got started doing many global grants.
Well, the
So
one
that's-
thing I can say, and you all just reading a newspaper daily or listening to news know that if this war is over, the needs of the country are going to be enormous. And
They're They are
It's
not
not
going
gonna
to be
go away.
going away. They're,
Right.
and given all the destruction in the country, there's been a lot of work for years to come to try and get it back to a reasonably habitable community. It will be difficult.
I may just raise for just a moment, just a thought, don't really need to respond to this unless you have some specific information, but one area of conflict in the world that has gotten a lot less attention than Ukraine or the Israeli Gaza situation is the situation in Sudan now, which is just horrendous. And I don't know anything that might be going on there, but it's something to keep an eye on, and maybe there's something we can do, although it's in such a state of civil war and civil unrest, it's sort of like, I'm not sure how Rotary can do anything worthwhile, but there may be something.
Then maybe Kiki would have some information about whether Rotary is ready to do things in Sudan, or we just have to hold off.
So I don't have specific about disaster relief grants in that area, but what I can do is I can reach out. I know Tiffany Miller is the grants manager, and she actually has an officer that deals specifically with disaster relief grants. So I could reach out and ask, and then follow up with you on Rick and let you know.
Okay.
That's okay. Okay.
And if there is interest, we could even invite them to speak to us in December.
Okay. So specifically for Sudan, the Sudan areas, which
Right.
are okay. All right.
Or disaster relief, and just being aware of
Okay.
the need to
I mean,
do
there's interest in
something.
Haiti too.
Okay.
I mean, Joanne's got a global grant that's
Okay.
initiated for the cervical cancer project
Yeah.
in Haiti, and she's trying to get connections going down there.
Yeah. Rick, I'll copy you. I'll reach out to Tiffany, and I forget the name of there's an officer who handles disaster relief, but they certainly have the most comprehensive information that they could share.
That's wonderful, Kiki. We'd appreciate that. And yes, I'm sure our past district governor, Joanne Hepperman, would love to get reasonable information about, especially now that the airport is closed and goodness knows what
Yeah,
else.
she's connected with the district governor in Haiti who's really responding well.
Rick, did you say our December meeting was on the 15th?
It'll be on the second Wednesday. What day of the month is that?
That's the 11th.
Okay, then it's not on the 15th, it's on the 11th.
Got it.
Thank you for your precision there, Richard. I appreciate that. All right. Yes, now if you've come down from your euphoria over the Dodger victory.
Oh, it'll take me some time, I can assure you
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, for years, Richard has been our Global Grant Scholarship Chair. And the first question he has always asked of every applicant to be interviewed for that position: are you a Yankee fan? It's always there. Okay, then
Right.
thanks to everyone. Yeah, it has been, I think this has been a very good meeting. I am going to stop the recording. And again, thank you all for participating, and I hope to see you all in December.